In response to my petitions, I've been arrested repeatedly, violently, choked to the ground, roughed up. All of this, my mother attacked, coming to my aid for trying to speak, William, like I'm speaking to you right now in the courtroom, under oath, on the record, about the criminal conduct of bureaucrats and attorneys, all either licensed or employed by the corporate state of Oregon or California. Remember, stealing people's children, their lands, and their property in these sham, often star chamber type proceedings, where the outcome is a foregone conclusion, where the victims are being beaten up and arrested for trying to speak, something they have an absolute right to do, and the corrupt attorneys and bureaucrats stealing the children, stealing the land, are being given escort service by these sheriff's deputies in and out of the courthouse to protect them from their angry victims. Now, people, nothing that bad was going on at the time that our founding fathers made their declaration, signed the Declaration of Independence, which was their death warrant if they lost. All of those, like Benjamin Franklin said, we have to hang together because we'll certainly hang separately if we don't. And it's the breakdown of that basic principle that I have become, that has shocked me, has shocked all of those that I have been dealing with for the last 20 years. I've had judge friends of mine that I knew when I was actively practicing telling me, oh, you're going to fight him, huh, Roger? This ought to be interesting. Unbelievable, unbelievable that you can have this kind of evil, William. And when I say my prayers, it says, deliver us from evil. That is what they're talking about, evil, where you have no remedy. The case that one of the cases I'm involved with down here is the case of Cassidy and Jason Kenworthy. They're McIntyre. Yeah. Their son being taken 2 days after his birth. The mother had no prior record. The parents are married. He's a chef by profession. She is a food server.
And he lost his job going through all the hoops they wanted him to go through.
Yes.
But what was their excuse for taking away this
child? They claimed that the mother was having pains. I mean, labor is a very painful process, I'm told. And she took some Vicodin or some drug for that pain, and they used that.
After she had the child?
Just before she had the child.
She took that just before to
numb the pain?
Yes.
Yeah.
If men had to deliver babies out their penises, this would not have been an issue.
No, there would be no births.
Give her six.
My mother told me if you had to,
and I can't even imagine.
There would be no births.
Been there. I don't want to be there.
But the idea, and it's this, what I just read to you, I said that is a limitation on government. And I said to them, who is it that is authorizing? Remember, people, remember this. You have got, I say, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. You and I are sovereign we are sovereign entities. Those that work for the government are public employees. They must give you due process of law before they take something from you. If the mother is, they have to show a valid law. You are a sovereign citizen. They go down to the legislature and they make a rule. Now, a rule, either a legislative rule or an executive order, they are not laws. They are regulations. They're codes. They make them one day, they can change them the next day. The Constitution, you cannot do that. If you want to change the Constitution, you must do it by constitutional amendment. You must get 3/4 of the states to sign on to that constitutional amendment. That was intentionally put into the Constitution by our founding fathers to make it difficult for the power brokers to go in and do what they're doing now.
And they've just circumvented that and said, we've got emergency order here written by some high school graduate who's going to grab somebody's baby because there's an emergency.
But this is what is the evil.
It's
$85,000. I've become aware of that. $85,000 this bankrupt corporate entity called the United States pays to the corporate state of California every time it takes a child and puts it up for adoption. It gets nothing. The state gets nothing if the child goes back to the natural parent.
Bingo.
Yeah. So what they're doing, they're harvesting the children. And what you're doing, you're harvesting the children. And what are they doing with those little ones? They are terrorizing them. You take a child from a natural mother and you pass them around. What kind of
that is sociological terrorism of the child.
Yes.
That is ruining, not only that, but the mother doesn't get a chance to breastfeed that child.
There's
and
no
the child
bonding.
will be damaged all its life for lack of the immunity did not get built up. They are weakening these children. Roger, former prosecutor, a member once upon a time of the Oregon Bar, now
the Oregon
retired.
State, that stands for the Oregon State Bandit Association.
Oregon State Bandit Association. Roger Weidner, here's the question. We watch on History Channel or Discovery Channel, we see these movies about dirty black guys with guns, and they go down to some poor black woman at a river in Africa and their little children, and they rape the women, they kidnap them and their children, kill the babies because they don't want to bother with them, and they march them hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, and sell them as slaves. They steal the children from the dad, kill the dad if they can get them, find them, and they take the women and they sell them. What the Child Protective Services, aren't they doing the same thing? They're just doing it with fancy offices and titles. They're stealing children from the rightful father and mother and selling them. Isn't it the same thing?
It is. It is. I said it is so evil what is going on. And when you confront them, they run away from you, William.
They do.
They run away from you. You saw this the other day when we were going after the caseworker that was involved in taking Tristan.
That cowardly Laura Lee. Let's run that tape so our viewers, as we're doing this live here Friday night, I want you to see this person who's guilty of human trafficking, in my opinion, and I think Roger agrees. Watch that, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. This is interesting. Going on for a little girl in Florida. The good guy in the white hat in Florida is a journalist named Paul Scott Abbott, a good dad who married the wrong gal, had one girl named Ashley. They got divorced. He got the child. And I'm not going to go into the long of why he got the child because I don't want to denigrate the mother of Ashley. But she definitely had some problems, and the court probably made the right decision in giving Daddy the 3-year-old girl to raise.
So what was the result of all that?
Well, I'm not sure there is a result yet, Susan. This is going on. Just last week there was a hearing, and you're going to see the hearing that happened last week right here today and see what kind of short-changed justice this good dad got. But first, I want you to see the incident which Mr. Abbott documented. So we're going to roll that tape of little Ashley when she was only 3 years old.
I said, where's my bubbles?
We can get bubbles in a minute. Can you tell Daddy what happened to your mouth?
I need to get new bubbles.
Oh, I know. So what happened to your mouth, sweetheart?
Mommy
Did anything?
Mommy hit me.
What happened?
Mommy hit me.
How did that happen?
Mommy hit me on the face right here.
She did.
Lip.
Why did she do that?
How could you injure something like a child like that?
Huh? Why did she do that? Do you know why she did that?
We need to get new bubbles.
Was that why she hit you?
Yeah, we need to get new bubbles.
So what happened?
We need to get new bubbles.
So is that why that happened to your lip? Ashley?
We need to get green here.
What happened to your lip?
We didn't need to get green here.
Do you know what happened to your lip?
William, ask me about.
All righty. That was Paul Scott Abbott, a one-time renowned journalist in Florida reporting on shipping and port activities, who's been just decimated because he married the wrong woman. She had a history of abuse he didn't know about. She had lost other children. She had an unsupervised visit with the CPS knowing full well that she had drug issues and other problems. And apparently the little girl spilled her bubbles and she got smacked. That's not the CPS worker we're going to show you. But I thought since that was there, I'd let you see. That's a flashback to about 5 years